Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days
This is about compound interest and present value. Okay, so compound interest. Let's see. Compound interest. Okay, compound interest. So the formula, the all-important formula for interest now, is P of t equals your initial value times 1 plus r over m, and I'll explain all these variables, to the mt. Okay, so this is your current balance, or your balance at time t. So the amount of money that you have, basically. This, again, is your initial. Anytime you see a naught, like the little 0 or 0 at the bottom, that just means initial. The 1 is a 1. R is your interest rate. Now we're getting all financial. So this is your interest rate. T is your time in years, YRS, and M is the frequency of compounding. And frequency, in this case, frequency of compounding is how many times it's compounded per year. So if you only do it annually, then M is going to be 1. If you do it biannually, then that'll be 2, and then so on. Quarterly would be 4, and etc. Okay? Alright, so I need more space to explain the next thing. So, basically this M that I was talking about, as M approaches infinity, then the formula is going to, the entire formula is going to approach what's called compounded continuously interest. So compounded continuously. Okay, so now the formula is eventually going to look like P of t equals P naught, so our initial, times e to the rt. Okay, and this should look familiar, thinking of r kind of like our k in this case. Okay, there are two other important limit definitions, I suppose, that will come in handy. So I'll just write them here for you so you're more familiar with them. So limit as n goes to infinity of this 1 plus 1 over n to the n power equals e. There's a proof in your book of both of these formulas, but they're kind of lengthy and I don't want to take up time just showing you a proof. So, and the other one is going to be, you will definitely use this in the last few problems on this section in your homework, so you can refer back to this. So in this case, this one, x is just another number, not 1. So yeah, if you have a 2 there, then that's what's going to be in the x spot. Okay? Alright, so these are just two useful formulas that you'll probably need. Now for present value. Okay, so present value. Okay, so present value of P received at, okay, I'll write this out. So present value of P, this is an amount of money, received at time t is P e to the negative rt. Okay, so the explanation of this is basically, this is the amount that you would have to invest today. So amount you'd have to invest today in order to have P dollars at time t. I know it might sound a little bit confusing now, and it's kind of a hard concept to grasp, but stare at it long enough, and I guarantee you'll get it. And if not, then after a couple problems, then it'll sink in. So the reasoning behind this is that so our normal formula, I suppose, so for compounded continuously, this is what we got for our formula. That's an RT. And then when P naught is our present value, then, let's see, we have, this is what we get. P of T equals PV, right? Because we're plugging in present value for our P naught times the ERT, right? And then we get that PV, which is equal to this. So all of this up here, that equals our present value. Okay, so we're going to plug in the circled quantity for our PV spot. So then we're going to have e to the negative RT, and then times the leftover e to the RT, right? And then these two will actually cancel to 1, and then we just get P at that time. So that's the mathematical explanation behind the present value. Okay, now there's something called income stream. While we're on the whole financial topic. So income stream is a series of periodic payments, that continue over an interval of T years. Okay, so the formula for this, which is pretty important, is present value, and then we're going to have an integral sign because we're calculating over a certain interval, and then R of T, and I'll explain what this is, e times e to the negative RT, and then our dt. So this is actually, the R of T is how much you pay annually. So this is your annual payment in dollars, okay? And this might or might not be important for your homework. I don't know. I just know that this formula here, so the integral thing, the present value and the integral, that might or might not come in handy. I just wanted to expose you guys to it in the video. Okay?